I wonder, could a long-forgotten secret from the past suddenly reshape a family's destiny? For decades, the world had known Donald Trump as a formidable titan in business and politics, a man whose name was synonymous with success, power, and unyielding determination. Yet behind the gleaming towers and bold headlines lay a hidden chapter of his past, one that few had ever dared to imagine. 25 years ago, in the midst of tumult and uncertainty, a precious family bond was severed when his younger sister mysteriously vanished without a trace. Now, on an overcast autumn afternoon in New York City, an unexpected revelation would force Trump to confront the ghosts of his past and the secrets that had haunted him for a quarter of a century. In those early days, before the world had come to know him as the magnate he later became, young Donald had shared a close-knit relationship with his sister, Elizabeth. She was his confidant and his mirror, the one person who softened the edges of a rough childhood and filled his heart with hope. But one fateful winter night, as a storm raged outside their modest family home, Elizabeth disappeared. No one knew exactly what had happened. Whispers of scandal, mysterious circumstances, and painful silence soon engulfed the family. In the ensuing years, while the public would only catch glimpses of the powerful man he became, deep inside, Trump carried the heavy burden of loss and unresolved questions about his beloved sister. For 25 long years, the memory of Elizabeth faded into a painful secret, locked away behind guarded doors and silent phone calls. In boardrooms and on television, Trump was always the strong, unflinching leader, yet in the privacy of his thoughts, he often wondered what might have been if his sister had been there by his side. The unanswered questions gnawed at him. Had she been forced to leave by circumstances beyond her control? Had she been caught up in events too dangerous to reveal? And most importantly, was she still alive? On that chilly autumn afternoon, as Trump walked through Central Park, wrapped in a heavy overcoat that did little to dispel the autumn chill, his eyes were drawn to an unusual sight. Tucked away in a quiet corner of the park, near a fountain adorned with the soft murmur of falling water, stood a solitary figure. The person was dressed modestly, her features gentle yet resolute, and as she gazed at the rippling water, an unmistakable familiarity stirred deep within him. In that moment, a rush of memories, of shared laughter, whispered secrets, and the warmth of sibling love flooded his mind. Could it be? After 25 years, was this the long-lost Elizabeth? With a hesitant step, Trump approached the figure, his heart pounding with a mixture of disbelief, longing, and trepidation. The woman turned slowly, and in her eyes he saw a reflection of the past, a spark that echoed the vibrant, hopeful soul of the sister he once knew. The encounter was silent at first. Words seemed unnecessary in the face of such profound reunion. Instead, their eyes locked in a moment that transcended time, a wordless exchange that spoke of pain, regret, and the possibility of redemption. Over the next few days, what began as a chance encounter evolved into a journey of rediscovery and healing. Trump learned that Elizabeth had endured a life of hardship and solitude, forced into exile by circumstances that even she could not fully explain. After disappearing from the public eye, she had wandered through obscure corners of the world, seeking refuge and anonymity while struggling to piece together the fragments of her shattered past. Her disappearance had been orchestrated by forces unknown, a tangled web of family secrets and external pressures that had driven her away from the only home she had ever known. For Elizabeth, survival had meant embracing a new identity, one that allowed her to rebuild her life far from the prying eyes of a world obsessed with wealth and power. Yet, no matter how far she traveled, or how many obstacles she overcame, the longing for reconnection with her family had never truly faded. The mysterious circumstances surrounding her departure had left her with unanswered questions and a persistent ache in her heart, a yearning for the sister who had once shared her dreams and hopes. As you listen to this story, you are invited to reflect on the enduring bonds of family and the miracles that can arise when old wounds are finally given a chance to heal. If this tale of loss, rediscovery, and redemption has touched your heart, please like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more inspiring stories that celebrate the beauty of human connection and the power of forgiveness. When the news of her reappearance began to ripple quietly through the inner circles of Trump's world, it sent shockwaves through the corridors of power. The revelation of a lost family member emerging after decades of silence was nothing short of a miracle. A narrative fit for the headlines of a bygone era. For Trump, the emotional impact was profound. Here was the person who had been an indelible part of his childhood, the one whose absence had quietly haunted his most private moments. Now, faced with her reappearance, he was forced to confront not only the mystery of her disappearance, but also the vulnerabilities and regrets that he had long kept hidden. In the days that followed, Trump arranged a private meeting at one of his most secure residences. The reunion was both bittersweet and cathartic. In a spacious room filled with soft light and an air of cautious anticipation, Elizabeth and Donald sat together for the first time in decades. There were no grand speeches or dramatic declarations, only the quiet, tentative sharing of memories. Trump listened intently as Elizabeth recounted the trials she had endured, the struggles of building a life in obscurity, the encounters with kindness and cruelty alike, and the relentless quest for answers that had defined her existence since that fateful night. For his part, Trump spoke of the life he had built, the public triumphs that belied the private wounds he carried. He confessed that, despite his towering achievements and the accolades that had defined his career, the void left by her absence had never been filled. In that intimate exchange, the two siblings rediscovered not only the love they had once shared, but also a renewed sense of family and belonging that transcended decades of separation. As word of the reunion slowly made its way into the public sphere, the story of Trump's lost sister captivated the nation. Media outlets that had once portrayed him as an unyielding figure of power now found a softer, more human side to the man behind the headlines. Interviews and feature stories highlighted the emotional reunion, focusing on the themes of forgiveness, resilience, and the enduring bonds of family. For many, the tale of Elizabeth's reappearance became a symbol of hope, a reminder that even the most deeply buried secrets can resurface and heal old wounds. In the ensuing months, the reunion spurred Trump to embark on a series of personal and philanthropic initiatives aimed at addressing family estrangement and supporting those who had been marginalized by society. He established programs dedicated to reuniting long-lost family members and providing counseling to help heal the emotional scars of separation. Through these efforts, he sought not only to honor the memory of the past, but also to forge a future where compassion and understanding took precedence over division and isolation. For Elizabeth, the reawakening of familial ties was both liberating and transformative. She began to reconnect with other members of the family, slowly weaving herself back into a tapestry that had been frayed by time and misunderstanding. Her reemergence was met with cautious optimism by those who had long wondered about her fate, and she found solace in the fact that her return had inspired others to confront their own family histories with honesty and empathy. As the seasons changed and the chill of winter gave way to the warmth of spring, the story of the lost sister's return came to symbolize a new beginning, not just for the Trump family, but for all who believed in the possibility of redemption and renewal. In quiet moments, when the pressures of public life and the weight of past regrets seemed overwhelming, Trump would gaze at a faded family photograph and remember the promise of that long-ago night, when a single mysterious disappearance had set in motion a chain of events that would eventually lead to healing and reconciliation. Now, as the family looked to the future with hope and determination, the legend of Elizabeth's reappearance served as a powerful reminder that no matter how far one may stray, the ties that bind can endure even the longest of separations. In the end, the reunion of Trump and his lost sister was not just a personal triumph. It was a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the transformative power of love.